Welcome everyone to Studio Othello, the live stream that will guide you through the 44th World Othello Championship, held in Paris, in France, from 27th to 30th of October. And this is already next week. We are excited and cannot wait for the tournament to kick off. In the first section today, we are going to shine a light on the team that will be part of Studio Othello, the presentators, the commentators, and the interviewers. And in the next sections, we will do a nice interview of youth players, and we also will have a special guest today. And then in the last part, we will be introducing Fantasy Othello. It looks like fantasy, but it isn't. And we're going to elaborate on that. Now, Luke Ploumen from the UK and myself will take you through the English part of the live stream during the World Othello Championship. Luke unfortunately cannot be here today, but for sure he will be back next week. Also, I would like to already thank Guy Ploumen, who was the Studio Othello commentator in the 2019 World Othello Championship. And this year he had the difficult choice of representing his country or continue his role as commentator. As I am sitting here, you could figure out what his final decision was. I am Tom Schotte, a Belgian Othello player that started playing in 2001 and became active in tournaments late 2003. Since then, I have participated in 14 World Othello Championships and have been tournament director in 2. Also, I play an active role in the World Othello Federation, earlier as European representative and nowadays as the treasurer. Now we will do a round of the table of the other people you can view in the screen, and we have Tomoki, Takeshi, and Akihiro, and I propose that Takeshi starts with his introduction.
Takeshi, did you say?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Takeshi Murakami. I'm in Japan now, but I will leave in a couple of days to be in Paris. My first World Championship was in 1988, and I was fourth. I lost to Graham Brightwell of England. Then it took me 9 more years to go to the World Championship again, which is held in Tokyo in 1996. And then there I played against Guy Ploumen, now the president of the association. And I'm surprised to know that his son is already an adult and he will be one of the presentators to this video program. Well, I have many friends in Paris, and I played in many Paris international tournaments. I am very pleased, and I'm honored to be a commentator, to experience the highest level of competition in Paris. So let's see. Let's meet in this YouTube channel on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and Sunday. See you soon.
Thank you, Takeshi.
You're welcome.
Tomoki, yours next. You're muted.
Sorry, please one more time. Okay. Hello, my name is Tomoki Otaka. I'm a Japanese high school student. I'm 16 years old now. However, I'm living in Vienna, the capital city in Austria now. I started Othello since 2019, so I'm quite a new player. And during the WOC 2022, I will be a commentator of Japanese and English. This is the first time to be a staff of the WOC, so I'm a bit worried and nervous, but I'll try my best. And I hope everyone could enjoy, not just looking the live Othello, and I think everyone could enjoy the WOC more through this YouTube channel. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Tomoki. And all of you might have noticed, but on the bottom right, we have a special guest today. And it is the reigning world champion, Akihiro Takahashi. Welcome.
Hello. I'm Akihiro Takahashi. I'm world champion in 2019, and I will join WOC 2022 for the first time in 3 years. I'm very looking forward to seeing my friend in Paris. Thank you.
Thank you, Akihiro. So Akihiro is both the reigning world champion, but also the reigning youth champion this year. But as he is now older than 16, he's no longer considered as a youth player. So for sure that title will be won by another player this year. But we're looking forward to see the battle for the open title and to see if he can make it a second title or if anyone else will stand up and win the title instead. So it's about time to add another player, another member of our Othello community to the live stream. There he is. Welcome, Jan. You are also muted.
I think being muted is the most common mistake.
Yes, welcome, Jan.
Tomoki, Takeshi, and Akihiro.
Can you introduce yourself briefly?
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Jan de Graaf. I've been playing Othello for over 30 years and over 20 years in tournaments. Tried to gather a lot of players in the Netherlands, and well, it worked recently. Organized many tournaments. I had the pleasure of organizing, with some others, of course, twice the World Championships in the Netherlands in 2002 and 2012. And am quite an active member of the Othello community. So I'd like to continue with that. It's just a great game. And the better we spread the game, the more we spread the game, the better.
And
currently,
sorry.
Yes?
Yep, I was going to ask what's your current role within the world community?
Yeah, thank you. Currently, I'm chairman of the youth committee. So I'm trying to get youth matters organized. And, that's not really an easy task. But at least at the World Championship, the current World Championships in Paris, we're doing fine. Because we have 22 or 20 youth players. Well, at least 20 or more youth players, so that's a great number. And there are also a few very strong players, so that's very nice.
And in your role as youth, as your role in the youth community, this comes from experience from youth in Netherlands, because I know you were or have been quite active with helping youth to get to know the game.
That's correct. When my children were in primary school, I started teaching Othello in their primary school, and did it together with a friend, also a Dutch player, Marcel Sneek, and we did it for 8 years. And now both of my daughters have moved on to high school, and currently at one of their high schools I'm well, not really teaching Othello, but we have Othello afternoons. So players can simply join us, play Othello, and I will try to give as many tips as possible.
That's really nice. There should be more of you.
I wish this was the case in every country, that several players would do this. It's fun to do. Kids are very eager to learn, happy to play, and for some reason, I see the same with kids as we see with the adult Othello community. It's a really nice community. For some reason, Othello just makes people friendly.
Indeed. Thanks. I think it's time for you to start to interview one of the Othello participants of this year's World Othello Championship. You will be interviewing Akihiro Takahashi. Akihiro, you can or take the questions in English or use Tomoki as your translator if needed.
Oi.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Akihiro. It's afternoon here, but it's probably later in the evening in Japan. So welcome.
Good evening.
Good evening. Tom already introduced you. You're a young player, but you're no longer youth. So the league title will go to someone else this year. But I wonder, when did you start playing Othello?
I started playing Othello when I was 10 years old, maybe.
Okay, so that's about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
So that basically means that from 10 years old to 13 years old, you managed to become world champion. Very impressive.
Yeah.
Who introduced you to Othello?
My mother's sister introduced me to join the tournament, and then I lost the tournament, and I want to playing Othello for my yeah.
You have been playing Othello a lot. What do you like about this game? What do you like about Othello?
I like the end of Othello. I like counting discs. The end of Othello.
So it's the end game that you like most.
Yeah.
Do you like any other games?
I like Othello the best.
Of course. And what about sports?
I sometimes swimming. So I like swim in the pool.
Swimming is a really healthy sport. Nice. Okay.
Yeah.
I would normally ask any youth player if there are any players they look up to. Well, since you have already become world champion, are there still other players that you really look up to, that you admire?
Pardon?
Are there any players that you look up to, that you think are great?
youth players.
Any player?
尊敬してる選手は誰ですかと。
I look up to Makoto Suekuni.
Ah,
I like his Othello.
okay. How often do you practice? How many hours?
I practiced about from 2 to 3 hours in when I was junior high school student, but I'm a high school student now, so I practice an hour on average.
You have less time for Othello and more time for school.
Yeah.
In the meantime, I saw that April has also connected. Is that correct, Tom?
Yes, he has joined the call.
Ah. Good afternoon, April.
Hi.
Hello. Nice to have you with us. Would you like to introduce yourself to us?
Que te digas algo de vos. My name.
My name is April.
Y edad.
I'm 11 years old.
And from which country are you?
Argentina.
Oh, Argentina, the south of America. Nice.
Yes.
You're already in Paris, I heard from your father.
Yeah.
That's very nice. So you can already accustomed to the time zone. What have you done or what have you seen in Paris?
¿Se llama?
Louvre.
Louvre.
La Torre Eiffel.
The Tower Eiffel.
¿Y podés decir que fuimos al Louvre?
We have go to the place where we will play Othello.
Ah, the expo. That's very smart to know where you need to play. I've asked Akihiro a few questions and I would like to ask you the same questions. When did you start to play Othello?
¿Cuándo empezaste?
I don't remember, but I had my first tournament at 6 years old. With 6 years old.
So you're already playing 5 years now.
Que estoy
Nice.
jugando desde hace 5
Yeah. Yes.
Who introduced you to Othello?
My dad.
Your dad. He is a well-known player for many years already.
Yes.
What do you like about Othello?
I don't know. I like to stay in silence and think the most, but I don't know. I don't have nothing especially.
It's just a fun game. Okay. Do you like any other games?
No, I don't know nothing.
And sports?
I dance and I play hockey and water polo.
That's a lot of sports. Very good. Very nice. Are there any other players that you think are really great players that you look up to?
My dad.
Of course. And someone else maybe?
¿Alguien más?
No.
Just your dad. Well, that's a very important player, of course. Um, how often do you play Othello?
¿Cuán seguido jugas Othello?
I don't know. For time to time.
From time to time.
Othello Quest I play.
Ah, okay. That's a really nice app to practice Othello. Yes. Um, this is your first World Championships.
Yes.
What is your goal this year?
¿Cuál es tu meta?
To win the what?
Fantasy.
The fantasy something. Fantasy world.
That's a really special goal. That's nice. Switching to Akihiro.
Hello all.
Promo of the fantasy. Hello. Switching to Akihiro with the same question. You have been world champion. Is your goal simply again to be world champion?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to be world champion.
Okay.
This
And then-
year too.
Of course, you have a good chance. Your rating is very high. You have been world champion. Can you name a few players that you're actually afraid of, that you think you might lose to?
I'm afraid of Japanese players, Kento Rano, Keita Omori, Fumio Kudaira, and Taketora Miyamoto. And also, I'm afraid of Maverick Ram. I played with him in 2019, and then I drew with him, so I'm afraid.
Yeah. Okay, these are indeed also very good players. Abril, have you taken a look at other players? Is there any player you would like to play against?
Con chicos, another kids of
Another kids of different countries, but of
You
my
would like-
age.
Yeah, you would like to play the other kids. Also like to play the adults, or would you rather have a full youth world championship?
no estoy seguro.
Can you repeat, please?
Sure. Do you also like to play against players, or would you rather have only youth players?
Claro, si te gusta jugar solamente con chicos o también con adultos. Decirle que siempre jugas con adultos.
Yes, I always play with adults, but with someone that don't have experience.
Okay. The same question for Akihiro. What do you think of the Othello World Championships? Youth, ladies, and adults in one tournament. Is that good, or would you rather think we should have a separate youth World Championships?
It's a good means of decide world Othello champion.
Okay. Nice to know. Um, when are you coming to Paris, Akihiro?
Pardon?
When are you coming to Paris?
I will leave for Paris in Wednesday.
Wednesday, so 2 days before the tournament.
Yeah.
Have you already decided what you want to do in Paris, except for Othello?
I will visit many places in Paris with Takeshi Murakami.
That's a good idea because Takeshi knows Paris quite well.
Yeah.
Akihiro, is there anything else you would like to say or share with our community?
Especially no.
Okay. And Abril?
What?
Is there anything you would like to say to everyone else?
Nothing that I like to play with kids.
Okay, that's great. Abril and Akihiro, thank you both for this interview. I liked it a lot, and I look forward to meeting you in Paris. Thank you.
Thank you. Me too.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
So I think it's about time to go to the next part of this session. Hey, Alex.
Hey, Tom. Hi. And is that Tomoki?
Yes.
Sorry,
I think you're on mute.
I'm Tomoki Otaka. Nice to meet you, Alex.
Hey, nice to meet you. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah,
Yep,
I can hear you
perfectly.
clearly.
Yeah, that's great.
Welcome to this live stream.
Yeah, thank you.
So the reason why you're here, you have done over the last couple of years some interesting things to support the Othello community. In which project are you involved? Can you elaborate a bit?
Yeah, so I think at the kind of start of the pandemic, I basically started a new YouTube channel, which is something that I've always wanted to do. And it's named Othello Academy. And yeah, essentially the aim of the channel is just to kind of spread, Othello, promote Othello as a board game, and share some strategies that and some experience that I've known across years of playing the game.
So indeed, so you had some free time with no tournaments being held at your
Yes.
country. But I've seen quite some of the videos that you have produced and published, and they really shine a light on all different kind of levels. So really from they are good for beginning players, but as you are also quite a good and experienced player, you are able to take it really high up in level. So I think you reach a large number of people. What are the reactions that you get from the community and people watching your videos?
Yeah, so I think locally in Singapore, I think a lot of people appreciate it, and I only come to know of it only when I meet them in real life tournaments, or through our chat groups. They tell me some of the videos are really useful, and I think internationally, I did kind of hear some feedback. I think Banked was telling me some of the Europeans, especially those who are just starting out in the game, finds it very useful. Yeah, so I think what I really pride myself in, I mean, I may not be like kind of like the very best of the best top tier players in the world, but at the same time, I pride myself in trying to kind of present Othello in the simplest way possible, so that people who are new to the game, they do not find it very hard to kind of come into the community and learn the game. Yeah, so I think
Indeed.
overall, I have heard positive feedback, and also kind of suggestions along the way on how to improve. Yeah.
Yeah, And what happened that you didn't or couldn't qualify this year?
Actually, I did qualify this year, and I spent quite a lot of time thinking on, debating between myself about whether to come, for the World Othello Championship. But yeah, for me, it's a bit more difficult this year to come. So ultimately, I kind of decided to give it up. It's mostly more towards like kind of cost related and family related situations. Yeah, if not, I would have definitely loved to come. And yeah, I think some of my audience have been also asking, that they're kind of disappointed to not see me come for the event. Yeah. So it's quite a pity.
Yeah, but I've seen that Team Singapore is sending out a great team anyway, also with you being part of it.
Yeah, I think typically when WOC goes to Europe, Singapore doesn't really send a full team, partly due to cost or travel time. But I think this time, due to COVID delay, I think a lot of people actually want to travel. Have been wanting to travel for the past 2 to 3 years. So yeah, I think there were quite a few people who were quite excited to go for WOC in Paris. Yeah.
Hey, Bengt.
Hello, Bengt.
Hey, do you have some burning questions about Othello Academy?
Well, no, not really questions, but I mean, I'm impressed about the quality of the videos, and as you already say, it's a lot of people who really like it. I talked with beginners in Sweden who started up just to check your videos and really liked it. I mean, people who just contact me and they say, well, we just started playing on an app, and by the way, I found Alex Core's videos. They are real good. So it is a lot of people outside the Othello community who have found your videos. So that's impressive. That's really good.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, I do have to kind of also credit, I think probably my early exposure, because Mr. Sukuni Makoto was in Singapore for some 4 to 5 years. And I think most of the kind of older generation Othello players has had the chance to kind of get exposed, play with him and learn from him a lot. So I think, yeah, I'm just kind of trying to bridge the gap between, what's available in Japan and my own experience, and try to bring it to the English-speaking community. Yeah, maybe try to level the playing ground a bit. Japan has been pretty dominant over the past 15 WOCs.
So maybe your academy can change that?
Yeah, maybe. But over time, Japan is still very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just in between, I've got a question for Tomoki. I'm wondering, so you're residing in Vienna now, but of course you're Japanese, and you started playing in Japan?
Yes, I started playing when I entered to the junior high school. My junior high school and high school is like the same, and it's a single sex schools. The name of the school is Azabu Junior High and High Schools. In this high schools, there's some Othello clubs, and the Mr. Murakami Takeshi made this schools, and this club is it exists for about 30 years, and for famous players, Mr. Yasushi Nagano and Takashi Yamakawa joined to WOC, and he's also from my schools. Yeah, and I entered the schools, and I forgot why did I enter it, but when I started, like there's some strong students more than me, and I want to be strong like them, and I practice a lot, and yeah, and it comes now.
Yeah, I wanted to ask if you have already played against very strong players, but if you hear the names of the players that come from your school, it's quite a level indeed.
Yeah, I think the strongest students is about like 4 dan or 5 dan in yeah, Japan.
And now you live in Austria, and I realized that you will meet the Austria player to meet up them and play.
Yes, I want to meet with him, but like I think he's not free sometimes, so I can't play and meet with him. But I want to meet and play with him after that. Yeah.
But I also heard a rumor that you might join one of the national championships next month in Europe.
Yeah. If I can, I want to join to the Belgium championships because like it's only about I think less than 2 hours in plane, and actually I have in time and weekends. Yeah, yeah. During I'm living in Europe, I want to go to a lot of countries and play a lot of championships in like Europe because I'll move back in Japan for 1 year. But after that, I can't spend a lot of time in Othello because I have to prepare about the entrance exam of university. And however, I'm just free now, so I want to improve my Othello skills until this year and during spending Europe.
Yeah, you would be most welcome. So feel free to make the travel plans.
Yeah,
to
I
our
hope I
championship.
can talk with a lot of Othello players
Yeah.
in WOC.
Yeah, Tomoki, your English is really good. You should probably come drop by my channel for an exhibition game.
Yeah, thank you. But like, I'm not strong enough to join the exhibition match.
Yeah, that's fine.
You can play against me.
Hello, welcome back, Takeshi.
Oh, I think you're unmuted. I think you're muted.
I sure was. Alex, hi, nice to see you.
Hello,
I was in
hi,
Singapore
Takeshi.
three times, and I played some Othello games with him and his brother.
Yeah. Hello, nice to meet you again. Yeah. Hope you're doing fine.
I am doing fine, yes. Thank you.
Tom, did you want to ask further questions or?
I can't hear you. I think you're muted.
I think you're on mute, Tom. Yeah. Probably some connection issue.
Yeah, maybe the mic doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah. But Tomoki, your English is very good, very good. Is it from
Yeah, thank you.
Azabu High or?
Yeah, I'm in the first grade of Azaiba High School now.
Okay, okay, cool, cool.
Yeah,
Very nice.
but however, like the school in Vienna, I'm in international school now, but it's very hard to like understand like the lessons because in Japan, we don't like write a report or like write a long sentence in the paragraphs. So it is the first time to do this, so it's very hard.
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah. But your English is really probably one of the best English speaking Japanese player I've ever met. At least the younger ones.
No, I don't think so.
So I hope we're not hijacking the show. Bank, if you have any questions, you can always kind of raise it if Tom has some difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom seems to go on, but we can try continue and see if Tom is coming. He is doing because we wanted to go through, and Alex, you can stay.
Yeah.
So we're doing the fantasy game. As you know, it will be on the fantasy.worldothello.org. we have a fantasy game there you can start up your dream team, and I know some of you already have done it. And
Yes.
so it's kind of easy. You log in, creating a login, and then you can choose your teams. So
Yeah.
what do you, Alex and Tomoki, thinks about that? Can it be interesting?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
definitely.
think
I
it is
think
very
the
interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, sorry,
yeah.
Alex.
I think
Yeah, you talk first.
Oh, okay. No problem. Sorry to interrupt you, Tomoki. But yeah, I think it's very interesting. It kind of mirrors other sports that also has kind of fantasy league, and it makes things a little bit more interesting, especially for people who may not be that familiar with Othello. It's fun, and I really like the 10,000 points kind of restriction. It made it quite difficult for me to kind of select the team as well, because you can't simply just choose, you know, four of the top rated players or strongest. You just have to kind of choose between and kind of predict it. And so I think it's really good fun, and there are quite a few people who have already submitted their teams. Tomoki, would you like to share your thoughts?
Yeah, I also did the same event. I think this is very cool because, like, yeah, Alex already said it. Because like the one we have to choose the team. The less the 10,000 ratings, and for example, like Akihiro Takahashi is the strongest player in the world, but also his rating is very high. So like if we choose him, we can select the very strong player a lot. Yeah, that's very hard, and we have to think a lot. Actually, I choose the player that I think like the rating is quite low, but I think like they'll get a very good success in this tournament.
So we
Yeah,
can see on the
like
screen, Tomoki choose Nikki, Matthias Berg, David Hand, Yumi Okudaira, och Mickey Schiffman. So
Yeah, I
your
think
team, can you
Mickey
explain it a
Schiffman.
little?
Yeah, actually, I think Nikki van den Wigler is, I think, one of the strongest. Yeah, Nikki and Mattisberg is one of the strongest player in the world. They had already have a good success in the WOC before. And for Yumi Okudaira is a female and also a junior player in Japan. Actually, she become very stronger in these 2 years. And actually, she's rating WOF rating is not high, and but she's becomes very stronger quite recently. So I think she'll be have a good success. Yeah, and also Mickey Schiffman. I played with him in like in like online tournaments. Actually, Leonid Schiffman. His grandfather's participate the tournament. I joined that, and actually I played about 3 or 4 games from with him, but it was like a one draw game, and I think lost 3 times. He was very strong. I promise this.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
it will be a really hard exercise to find a balance in your team, because it's not only about the number of points that a player gets in the Swiss, but also about the bonus points. So players like Akihiro, they are likely to get into the semis and score nice bonus points. But if you could pick out the semi-finalists in the youth and the female category, for example, if the best female in the Swiss gets 7 or 8 points, but you can pick out the world champion, you get 7 or 8 plus 4. So and those female and youth players have a lower rating. So if you could fit them nicely in your team of 5, you can get a really high score at the end.
Yeah. So Alex, your team, Othello Academy.
Yeah. So I think earlier Tomoki mentioned Matthias Berg and David Hand. So I kind of agree. Both of them have kind of the potential to go very far, and their WOF rating is probably not reflective of where they actually are on the world stage. So yeah, I think they are underrated by the WOF rating. So yeah, it's good value to kind of select them. Akihiro, yeah, I think in my separate video that I kind of did a quick fantasy video on
Yeah.
Othello Academy as well. I mentioned
Yeah,
Akihiro.
I
For
saw that.
me, yeah, his the depth of his play right now seems to be like kind of a cut above the rest, at least for me, from my perspective. So I think he has a very high chance of kind of getting into the semifinals and doing very well. So yeah, definitely he's my top pick. Although I was kind of like debating whether I should kind of go with like four stronger open categories, but at the same time, I think Tom just pointed out something that I didn't realize, that the female and the youth categories are actually considered for the bonus points as well. So that's probably something most players may not be fully aware of. I think at least for some of the players in Singapore, they thought only the bonus points are only applied to the open category.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is that they can change the team until Friday morning.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it is possible to edit the team if they want other players, and it can also be some players who withdraw. We will notice everyone if someone is withdrawing.
Yeah, makes sense. And Katie, I think to me, she's a very strong female player, and I played her once at OWC in 2013. I think I won that one by kind of end game lucky situation, but I did feel that she's very strong, and I think she's also
Yeah,
won probably EGPs before. Yeah.
Katie was
So,
world champion 2013,
yes, yeah.
but under the
So I
name
think
Katie Wu.
yeah. So and I think Finland has a very balanced team. So yeah, I thought probably choose Katie for female.
Yeah.
And then for youth,
then,
I select. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
Go
sorry,
ahead.
it was a question about Calvin.
Yes. So yeah, Kelvin is my final pick for the youth category. So Kelvin, he's actually a player who's just come to the Singapore Nationals tournament in June. And then he basically has zero experience, never touched Othello before. So he came onto the scene, and then he's a very passionate player. So thereafter, he asked me to kind of coach him. So I did kind of some private coaching arrangement with him for some three months now. So yeah,
Wow.
he's flying off tonight. Actually, in about 3 to 4 hours, he's flying over to London, and then he's gonna spend a few days in London, and then before going over to Paris. So yeah, I do hope that he has he definitely has the fire in him to kind of perform. So
Yeah.
I think among those who are at the youth players at the 1200 rating, I think he's probably one of the few that I would say has a higher value. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why
It
I
is
went with him.
it is 14 teams who have chosen Calvin in his team.
Yeah.
So it's many who choose Calvin.
He's a secret topic.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah,
12
yeah.
who
I
choose
mean,
Matthias Berg. There's more people who choose Calvin than Matthias Berg. Interesting.
Oh yeah, interesting. And I saw Takanashi chose Kelvin as well. I wanted to ask him why.
Yeah. We will show the statistics later, but for a moment it is 46 teams who have chosen Takahashi. 20 who
Okay.
choose Alexander Di Mattei, 16 David Hand, then 14 Calvin Coe, 12 Matthias Berg,
Wow.
11 Michel Borassi, 10 Daniel Dufour, also a young player. So
Yeah.
there you have the top.
Yep. And
Interesting.
we already
But
have 76 teams registered so far, and we only launched it yesterday evening.
Yeah, we hope for
so
more
quite
teams.
popular.
Yeah, and we hope for more teams. So just join us. Go to fantasy.othello and create a team. It is easy to do that.
Okay, then I think you can close the Fantasy Othello section for today and maybe share some of our thoughts about the upcoming championship. Well, we already had the interview with Akihiro. Is he really the top favorite to bring the title back home, or are there contenders who can make it very tough for him?
That's so difficult question.
Takashi, I think you're muted.
Well, sorry, I was muted. I think Urano Kento is the top favorite of this tournament. He's quite capable of beating Akihiro. And of course, he's a graduate of my school. He was in my Othello club. No, it's not my Othello club, but he was in other Othello club. He is a really good player. And I want him to win. I want him to win.
Takeshi, do you know Fuyumi Okudaira very well?
Yes. Not very well, but
is she capable of reaching the semi-finals in both the youth and the female category?
It is possible. Well, one thing is she drew against Taminori in a tournament, I think in Kyoto Open last year. So she is very good. And I saw her playing in a tournament in the prefecture where she lives, Shizuoka. She was playing quite well. But of course, as I know, no female player has ever qualified for this final day. Maybe this year.
But then in 2016 it was quite close. There was a final round match in round 13 that could have brought a female player into the semi-final. So it could happen any year, of course. But I think she could make it to the semi-finals in the youth and the female category. And well, it's good news for her because the schedule of the semi-finals allows that someone enters in the semi-finals in both categories. So that's
yeah,
a good
I
thing.
think so because actually Fuyumi Okudaira was have a very good game against Hideshi Takanori in the Kyoto Open this year. Actually, Fuyumi Okudaira was did like a draw game against the king of god of Hideshi Taminori. So maybe she have a good success even not in female of all categories, I think. Yeah, but however, I think Takehiro Takahashi will get the world champion again because I think everyone knows, but Akihiro Takahashi is, I think, the strongest player in the entire world now. I saw his game a lot this year, but yeah, mostly he wins. He's very polite at some openings, and he's also strong at the end games and middle games. Yeah, he's too strong.
And Akihiro is not a book player who.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He plays openings in which he knows he's behind in terms of AI evaluation, and then.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
He wins after all in the end game.
Yeah, that's in the interview he told us that that's the part he likes the most. The end games.
End game, yes.
And
just curious, would you mind if I ask a question to Takeshi? San,
Yes,
yeah,
sure.
I wanted to ask, like, based on your experience or your knowledge, how much percentage would you say, amongst Japanese players are the kind of pure book players, or more like Akihiro, Sukuni Makoto, who can play really well out of book? What would you say is the proportion, just to kind of get a sense?
Proportion of what?
You know, players in Japan, who are
Yeah.
pure kind of book reliant players, like, and
There are many, yes.
players who
There
can
are
play
many.
very well out of book. Yeah.
Well, I don't think they can win in the end. To be the world
Okay.
champion, you have to do something more than book studying,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. And do you think like the majority of Japanese players are probably still, kind of purely studying book?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe half. But
Okay.
the other half are Suekuni type players.
Okay, interesting to know.
Yeah, good question, Alex.
Yeah. Sorry for interrupting.
No problem. And maybe a last thing. We are only mentioning Asian players for the moment,
yeah.
and most focusing on the Japanese ones. But do you see any other player from US, like Brian Rose, or some European players making it to the semis? Because at the end, personally, I don't see 4 Japanese players ending up in the semifinals. Who will be the other ones having a chance for that?
I think Alessandro Di Matti from Italy is, I think, go to the semifinals because he's strong than before, but like he becomes the European champion this year, and he becomes more stronger and stronger even now. So I think he have a good giant success in this tournament.
Yeah, I wanted to add him in my fantasy team, but he was too expensive for me.
Yes. Definitely agree. Yeah, I think Di Mattei is in good form. Yeah, and on top of that, I was thinking, Mikel Borassi, but he was also kind of too expensive for my fantasy team as well. Yeah.
And I also mentioned about Mickey Schiffman. Yeah, Mickey Schiffman will also, I think, have a good success in this tournament.
Well, I agree. I played against him several times on the online tournament. He was quite good, Mickey. And maybe Remy Taste, Mark Taste's son, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, he has been taught by a former world champion, so
yeah,
there are some expectations there.
Yeah. Yeah, but like in Europe, like there's a lot of strong players, and yeah, like also David Hans or like Matthias Berg, and there's a lot of strong players in a lot of countries. And last, I want to mention about like the Korean players, Oh Jongmok, I think, it was kind of like that. He's normally playing quite like short games in Othello Quest, like 1 minute games, and I played with a lot with him in the 1 minute games, but he is very very strong at 1 minute games. So I think if he thinks a lot I think WOC is we have a lot of time of thinking. So if he thinks a lot, I think he's very strong in also the long minute games, I think.
Did he play in Mito in 2016? Do you know?
Yes, he did.
Sorry, I don't know about that. Oh, really? Yeah.
He did. Yeah.
He was very good at the time already.
Yes.
Just quickly checking.
I think
he
Sweden
ended
also
up
has a
with
pretty strong.
8 wins in 2016.
Yeah. I think Sweden also has a pretty strong team, but I do kind of feel that most of the European teams have kind of like two very strong players, and then the third player may not be equal level as their two core players. So I think that the team wise is the performance is going to be quite evenly spread out as opposed to teams that have 3 or 4 or even more core strong players. So yeah, I think
Yeah,
it might
we
be
have
quite
so
difficult to
many
kind of
things
stop
to
Japan.
we have so many things to talk about. Indeed,
Yeah.
the team title is also at stake. Of course, Japan is there, the plain favorite. But which country would be able to follow Japan the furthest down the road? That's also an open discussion.
Yeah.
Actually, warning
Okay.
for Finland. In fact, I think they
Yeah,
can
Finland.
do it
Yeah.
very well. They have as Sweden, a very close team. They are all on almost same rating level, and yeah, I think they can surprise in the team tournament.
I think Great Britain is very strong now, because I think everyone knows, but like David Hand and Imre Leader and Guy Ploman wins are like all of them plays quite a long time, and they join the WLC very a lot, and also Paris is very near from London, from UK, so like they have an advantages, I think, than like Japanese, because like in Japan, like it's like long time lags from here Europe. So maybe the Great Britain team will beat Japanese team. Yeah.
Is Imre Reader playing in this World Championship in Paris?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I saw him. I'm just looking the teams in World Othello Championship in the website.
Wow, I can't wait to see him. He's such a nice person, and he's very good.
Yeah, I think many of us are looking forward to seeing so many players again this year, because there hasn't been a World Championship for 2 years now, and it's been so long to see all those good friends again. So I think aside of the tournament itself, which will be of high level of play, it will be a great atmosphere with all the players and all the old friends, and of course we'll have the opportunity to make new friends this year as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, definitely.
And before the pandemic, I could play in tournaments in Kanto area almost every weekend, but now there aren't any tournaments at all. So I hope this World Championship will ignite the passion for Othello again in Japan and the other countries also. That's my hope.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the things that I personally enjoyed the most in the World Othello Championship is the welcome reception. It's always the most exciting to kind of get the manual pairings, the balloting, to see who meets who in the first round, right?
Yeah, I've never joined to the WLC. Sorry, Mr. Peng. Sorry.
Yeah, at the reception, you also have the time to just strolling around and say hi to all players. You don't need to start thinking about your openings, or the crews need to run around to fix everything they should do. You have time to talk and say hi and meet up again. So the reception is really, really nice and important.
Yeah, I've never been to like the WLC, so I'm very excited.
We are as
Tomoki,
well.
are you going there as a staff or?
Yes, I'm going to Paris. Yeah.
Oh, you're going to Paris as a crew member or like?
Yeah, the
Okay.
media
Yes.
team member, yeah.
Okay. Great
You
to hear.
wasn't here before. We can notice that he's living in Austria now,
Yeah.
so it's close
Yep.
by.
If you
Nice
need,
to see
Take a
new faces.
yeah, if you need some quotes from Japanese players in between rounds, we send Tomoki around or Takeshi. So
Yeah.
to keep us posted about the latest gossips on the floor.
Yeah.
Okay. Bengt, do we have any more topics to cover? Otherwise, I think we can start to
Not
conclude
really. It's,
for today.
we can say that it will be a real interesting tournament, and because everyone here is in the World Television media team, for the media team, we hope it will be good for everyone to see the YouTube comments, and we will do our best to also be on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and everywhere you can find us. And it will be fun the final days because for a semi-final final we will stream for English studio. We will have studio hotel in French, Spanish, Chinese, and Japanese. So for us who working with this is a challenge, but it's so fun. So we hope everyone out there can enjoy it and listen to their own language for the semi-final and finals.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching the games and maybe also comment on a few as well. Yeah.
And staying up late for the deciding games.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I'm
I'll try
looking
my best
forward
to comment in English.
comment in Japanese on the third day, especially. That will be appreciated by so many Japanese players.
Yes, I
it will
know.
be,
Yeah.
Right.
And it will be good Japanese streaming. It will be good Japanese streaming because it will be Takeshi and Tomoki and Yusuke Takanashi will join as a guest.
Takanashi will join.
Yeah.
That's good.
So we had an interview with him yesterday. Yeah, online, yes. So it will be great. Looking forward for that. And also in Spanish and French, it will be invited guests. We hope to have in French Paul Ral, maybe also in English. He was a world champion once, a long, long time ago.
84.
Yeah, 84. Yeah. So yeah, it will be fun. Looking forward for it. So.
And indeed, also looking forward to next week. And to conclude, I would like to thank everyone who has joined this session. So thank you, Bengt, thank you, Alex, thank you, Tomoki, thank you, Takeshi, and then also Jan, Abril, and Akihiro, who already left the call. And we'll be looking forward to seeing you all next week, or live in Paris, or you watching the live stream of Studio Othello. Thank you very much, and see you next week.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Tom, Bengt.
Okay, yeah. See you, everyone. Goodbye.
All right. Take care, Tomoki. Bye. Goodbye.
Okay, goodbye, Alex.